Happy Friday, guys. Today we're starting off with some front squat work. We're doing our sets of 5. Same idea as weeks before, 4 sets of 5, but we're gonna break it up into percentages, and these are really rough. You can use them as a guideline, but you don't have to stick to them exactly. So it's a set of 5 at 60%, next set is at 65, and the last 2 sets are at 70%, or even more if you want to, if it feels good. But we're not building to a 5 max or anything like that today. We're just gradually starting to now work towards heavier weights. As we've taken a good chunk of time, just worked on 4 sets of 5, a nice light weight. Now we're gonna start to build up a little bit more in terms of percentages and get to heavier weights. So with that, again, use it as a guideline. If you don't know your 1 rep max, you can just treat it like a light weight, a moderate weight, and a moderate to heavy weight for the sets of 70%. For the workout today, straight up, simple, for time, 5,000 meter row. So if you don't have a rower, let's go for a 5K run today. This is a great test, guys, of your aerobic threshold. This is a workout that will be a perfect way to test how you're doing with your cardio, where you're at with it, without making it too complicated. Just one movement and just go. So before you get into this one, I want you to think about your technique. So with rowing, guys, there is tons and tons of advice you can give about rowing, guys. I'll give you some pointers that I think about as I do my row. And what you can think about, because we want to be efficient with our row today. If we're not efficient, that 5,000 meters is going to suck, especially the first 1,000 meters that you do. If you don't find that pace, that rhythm, it's going to suck real bad for the last 4,000 meters. So some things to think about, guys, is your breathing. So your breathing cadence. As you're going into the rower and you're bringing that handle back into the rower, take your deep breath in, or a couple deep breaths in as you're going in. As you're pushing back, you're exhaling. All the push you're doing through the rower, guys, is gonna be majorly done through your legs. Don't try to do a curl or a row every single time with your arms. You wanna use your legs as much as possible. 5,000 meters is no joke for just doing it with your arms. So I want you guys to think about using those legs. Another great way to make your row efficient is think about keeping that rower and the chain as straight as possible. Some of you sometimes want to dip down or go up or pull it really high and in towards your neck, or really low. You want to pull it always right into your sternum and in line with where the chain is coming out of. That's going to make it the most efficient for you, and you're going to get the most out of that. If you want to get a little bit more specific with it, if you go into your monitor and you change the display until you get to the force and the time graph, do a couple rowing intervals, so row for about a minute, and watch the graph. You'll see some curves come up, or you see some spikes come up. The general rule with that, guys, you want to create nice smooth curves as you do each row, and that's representing how efficient you are with your row. If you're doing spikes, there might be choppy points in your row that you're missing out on, and your row is not as efficient. So again, you can find this once you go into the menu and you start rowing. Hit your display monitor and change it until you can see the force and the time graph. There's 2 graphs. One of them is for power and one of them is for force. Focus on the force one for today and see if you can get a nice smooth line, so a nice curve, like a half a circle each time as you do each row, and that's going to tell you, and that's kind of like a cue for you that you're doing it right. If you're getting McDonald's signs as you're doing it, you're probably not efficient with your row. So think about getting a nice smooth finish with each row. Today's workout, again, is not going to be something where you want to go really slow with and really fast with. We're going to find that threshold and work just below that. So that means if your threshold is at a certain level, guys, where if you work at that point for too long, you'll fall apart later on, I want you to work just below that for as long as possible for this workout, because that's what we're trying to test today, is your aerobic threshold. hold that pace for as long as you can, especially for the full 5,000 meters. And if you can, at the end, for your last 1,000, depending on how good of a rower you are, the last 1,000, the last 500 meters, see if you can give it all and finish as fast as you can at the end. You want to be aiming for 18 to 20 minutes, 22 minutes today, depending on a lot of factors here, how tall you are, male or female, what weight you are, but around 8 to 22 minutes is a good range to aim for today, guys. And if it's your first time, if you go above that, that's okay. This is just the first time doing your 5K. You'll get better as you go. So make sure you guys do that one today. It's a great little piece to test, and we can test this on later on. Hope you guys enjoy this one. We'll see you today.